Hello, and welcome to our last lab of the semester. This is lab 6 for the VLI Biology Online Labs. My name is Ms. Copay, and I'm here to talk with you this week about our physiology unit and specifically our lungs and the pulmonary system. We're going to be looking at lung capacity and how to calculate what your volume and capacity is for your lungs. So out of your kit, you're going to need a few materials here. The first is a balloon, and so you'll find that in this little kit here with your balloons and strings. So find a balloon. If you don't have one or you used it previously and didn't save it, you can get any size. It's probably about 4 or 5 inch balloon, and any one will work. You can use anything that's kind of a moderate size. And then you're going to need your ruler. Okay, so from your lab manual, it starts on lab 31. You're going to be following the instructions in this lab, completing some calculations, and then you're going to be answering those lab questions in your lab manual and recording your data here as we go through various trials of examining your lung capacity. And then you're going to be writing all of that information up on your lab report and submitting it along with pictures from you doing this lab for credit into Buzz. So let's get started on some of the terms that you're going to be examining this week. We're going to be looking at your vital capacity, how much volume your lungs will hold, the reserve capacity of what volume when you exhale is still left in your lungs that you can't get out. And so to do this, let's get started first on what you need to do to measure the volume of air that you expel into this balloon. So make sure you stretch it out so it's good to go, and it's not going to be hard to blow up. So that may take a few times of just blowing it up, and I've done that already, so mine's ready to go. But go ahead and make sure you stretch it out and get it loosened up so that your trials are more consistent over time. If you just start with a hard balloon, they'll be more variable as the balloon gets loosened up. Okay, so you're going to start first off measuring your vital capacity. And what this asks you to do is to inhale deeply a couple times, just to kind of fill your lungs up, be relaxed, and it asks you to take a deep breath and then fill as much as you can into this balloon. And this is measuring how much air capacity or volume your lungs have. And so I'm going to take a big deep breath. And then I'm going to pinch it off here, and don't let it go, but also don't knot it, because we're going to repeat this several times. In fact, you're going to do about 5 different trials of this. So now we need to measure the volume of our balloon and the air inside of it. And so to do that, we're going to calculate the volume inside this balloon based on the diameter or the distance across our balloon. So this is bringing math into science, right? So here, it's going to actually take 2 people, and so I encourage you probably to have somebody else help you along with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this balloon here, and I'm going to use my ruler, but not quite in the way you might think. We're not going to measure across, because you'll find that for most of you, your vital capacity, the capacity of your lungs, is actually probably a little bit longer than your balloon. So I'm going to hold this down here, and I'm going to mark on one side of this balloon. And so I'm going to imagine that I could actually just do this, although it will be easier with somebody else. Okay, I'm going to put a mark here. And then I'm going to measure that balloon on the other side here, straight down as well as I can, and make another mark on the bottom here. Okay, so try to get that as close to the straight down as I can. And now I'm going to measure the distance across using my ruler. And so you can find that you can use a longer ruler, or you can add the distance from here, mark it here, and then add it to here. So I have my diameter of mine is roughly about 8, well actually I want to be measuring on my centimeter side. So it's roughly about 19 centimeters across. Okay, so you're going to use your ruler to kind of measure it on a flat surface, going from as vertically as you can get across here, and then measure the distance there. All right, and you're going to repeat that several times. So that's your first one for your vital capacity. Our second part is going to be looking at what reserve volume you have left in your lungs when you normally inhale and exhale. So you're going to be looking at what is the volume left behind. So now your balloon is empty. You've emptied it out. Okay, and you're not going to take a deep breath in. In fact, you're going to normally exhale. Okay, so breathe normally. Exhale. Think about this. and then you're going to blow out. So I'm just going to breathe in and out. Okay, and you can see my volume left behind is much smaller. So this is your volume that's left behind in your balloon, and so you're just going to use your pen and map straight down here and mark it on one side and then mark it on the other side and then measure the distance between those 2 points to identify how much volume you have left behind in your lungs. And that's the expiratory reserve. You're going to repeat that 4 more times for a total of 5 trials again, and that completes our reserves. The last one here is called our tidal capacity, and that says what is your normal volume that when you breathe in and breathe out, what do you have as your volume normally? And so for this one here, you're going to inhale normally and exhale normally, and then you're going to just not take a deep breath, just take a breath. Just take a breath. Okay? And so that's going to give you tidal capacity here. And so here again, you're just going to mark that and then record that and repeat it. Then using the average volumes here of men and women on this table, you're going to compare your findings based on the calculation, the formula given here for calculating lung capacity. And then you're going to be able to graph that information here on your chart. So that's your lab for this week. It'll be fun for you kind of maybe to survey your parents or your family members and see if they're interested in finding out what their lung capacity is. Okay, or if you're if you're training for something or an athlete, maybe you can try the next few weeks and sample at the end of summer. Have a great time doing this, and if you have any questions, be sure and bring them up in class or email me, and I can help you with them. So have a great time doing this. Bye.